Guys, welcome back to Quick Notes with Croissant. Today we're going to be continuing our series on the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership by John C. Maxwell. Today we're going to be talking about number 15, the Law of Victory. Now this is something that you should certainly adopt if you're ever in a leadership position or an individual who just wants to be successful in general. It's something that's so consistent amongst so many different successful people, and it's essentially the value in victory. All they care about is victory. Victorious leaders feel no alternative to winning. There is nothing else that is totally unacceptable. So once they figure out what it is that they need to do, achieving victory is the only thing that they care about, and they go after it with everything at their disposal. There are so many different examples of this amongst history, where it's Abraham Lincoln, where everyone was so against him abolishing slavery, but he didn't care. He made the resolve that he was going to follow through with what he believed which was right, and it's part of the reason why slavery's been abolished today. So, if you have that type of a mindset where it's a whatever it takes mentality, that winner's mentality, when pressure is on these types of leaders, this is when they perform their best. So if you feel as if you perform your best when you're on pressure, that is a sign of you having that law of victory instilled with you. It's something that's so consistent amongst so many different leaders, is that all they value is winning. As long as they will do anything that they want to at their disposal, as long as it is abided by within their laws and rules that they have by themselves in terms of morals and values, and no matter what, they will make sure that they achieve what it is that they set out to do. You can really see the law of victory. It's very, very present in sport. It's basically a platform where you see so many different individuals day in and day out, you're literally sacrificing their bodies to ensure they get the W, the win every single night. Kobe Bryant, when he tore his Achilles, how he'd go out when he literally had a torn Achilles and he still shot the 2 free throws in order to basically seal up the game. There's so many different examples, where it's Michael Jordan playing in the flu game, I'm a big basketball guy, so I know a lot of examples when it comes to basketball, but there are so many different examples, and the reason is because sports puts these mindsets on highlights. So if you ever see people digging in, basically understanding no matter what pain that they're feeling, that they're just going to follow through in order to get what they need done. Kobe Bryant in the finals, I think it was in the 2010 finals, he played with a broken finger, broken toe, torn meniscus. He had something like 7 normally season-ending injuries, but he was playing through the finals to make sure that his team would get that competitive lead and that championship by the end of the series. And that is something that is so apparent not only in the sports world but also business. It's just not as thoroughly highlighted in the sports world. So the 3 components of a victor and the law of victory. The first one is the unity of visions. Every single person on that team knows what it is that they're looking towards accomplish. There is no split mindsets. No one's there on different agendas other than the agenda of winning and the different means in terms of achieving it. The next one is diversity of skill. Every team, no matter what it is, whether it's business, sport, anything, any victorious team has a diversity of skill. Everybody thinks that Kobe Bryant put that team on his back, and he definitely did, but there was still a level of diversity through the team. Whether it was big, small, 3-pointers or high athletic people, they were all ready to fill in the role in order to get the W and the achievement and the championship by the end of it. So every successful team has a vast majority of diversity. Finally, a leader dedicated to victory will place everything and their team's potential onto it. Right? They're all about raising their entirety of their team's potential to ensure that they're going to achieve the goal. They're not just about themselves. They understand that they may be the best option, but there are certain people that need to be at their peak performance of their essential potential. There's so many examples of it, whether it's LeBron James. Everybody wants to play with LeBron James. Do you know why? Because he is the leader that brings the best out of every single person. Everyone's percentages, if you view them previous to a season with LeBron James and out, all of their stats generally increase on a majority of the major stat boards. Team succeeds when the players have the same vision. This basically means that, I already spoke about it before, but every single player has a unified vision. Whether it's in business, whether it's in companies, whether it's in your relationships, even something as simple as that. If both couples have the goal towards staying together, they will stay together. If both couples have the goal towards making a longevity in their marriage will stay together. If everybody in the business has the goal of making it to the next level, of the goal of hitting certain targets, that team's accomplishment will come true. And that's the sort of way that you want to instill and want to develop. So how is it that you get there? First thing, mentality. This one is all about mentality. The whatever it takes mentality, wit mentality. What it takes is whatever it takes. That's essentially what it talks about. A winner's mentality means that no matter what, they will take the full ownership, extreme blame of every situation to ensure that there is always accountability held within themselves, their team, and ensures that rather than focusing on the problem, they can focus on the solution. Because when everybody blames and start looking towards, oh, it was this person's fault, it was this person's fault, all progress stops. So what a true leader does, a person with this law of victory, understands that whenever something goes wrong, they cop it on the chin. Why? Because they could have done something to stop it. Whether they had 1% at stake or 99% at stake of the outcome, they had 100% opportunity in order to change it if they just acted accordingly. These are all the traits of winners. They understand that it's not necessarily their job for that individual to perform, but it is their job to motivate that individual to perform in any which way possible. It takes a leader for the unity of the vision with proper diversity into order for talent to occur. Basically what I'm talking about is that talent is great, but it is nothing without vision. There are so many different talented individuals. You look at any industry, there are hundreds of thousands of people who just pick up the task, pick up the career, pick up whatever it is very, very easily. However, it takes a leader with a vision in order to unify all these talents to basically ensure that work ethic and potential is completely basically unlocked and utilized in order to achieve what it is that the goal of the team is trying to accomplish. So leaders who practice the law of victory believe that anything less than success is unacceptable. And this might be a little bit full on. But the truth is that is what gets things done. If you look at any type of leader in history that transcended an entire government or transcended an entire culture, whether it's Martin Luther King, understanding that he had every single odd against him, but he had no care in the world of what it was. The resolve was there. He set out what it was that he was trying to do. Abraham Lincoln trying to free the slaves. So many of these extreme examples of these extreme victors and these extreme mindsets. Because at the time, nobody would have believed these individuals. They stood up for their own resolve, understood what it was that they needed to accomplish, and basically acted accordingly. And now, how is it that you start to apply this within your life? Well, if you're an individual that's in certain situations that maybe you do feel as if a lot of things is not necessarily happening, the first thing you need to start doing is within the law of victory is accept blame for everything. If you do consider yourself truly to be a leader, that means that you legitimately have the opportunity to change any outcome as long as you are somewhat present within the situation. Whether it's through having the conversation, being there to achieve the knowledge before it happened, no matter what, you need to take extreme ownership. That's what every single leader did. Every single one of these victors of history understood that it was in their power in order to change the outcome. Therefore, they accepted all blame. That's step one. Step two, have a whatever it takes mentality. If you have resolve towards the goal or vision that you're looking towards achieving, whether it's changing the world or something as simple as making sure that your business is profitable for that month, understand there are things that you can do in order to achieve it. No matter what, there is a solution to every problem. The bare definition of a problem means that there is a solution. Just because you don't know it yet just means that you haven't figured it out. That is how a victor views every situation. Also, nothing less than success, nothing less than basically winning, right, is acceptable. Whether you're second, you're third, you're fourth, you're last, unless you're first. And that's the way that you need to approach it. Now, so many people mistake this law with understanding that they are sole losers, they can't take loss. That may be true. That may be understandable, but the fact of the matter is that they do not blame anyone else other than themselves. So yes, they may be sore losers. Yes, they may not accept losses. Yes, but that is why they win. If you look at any successful person in history, they understand that losing is a part of the game, no matter what industry that you're in. However, they will not accept failure in places where it could have been fixed, which is every single place. If you have that winner's mentality, that means no matter what, you could have done something better. And in order to instill this same mentality within your team, you need to basically look towards getting the best potential out of everyone, having a unified goal. If you're working with team members, some people don't want to be there, some people are looking towards achieving certain things, some people think about leaving, you need to have a unified goal. A unified team cannot be defeated. A united front, a united inside, everything. If everybody understands what it is that the team is looking towards accomplishing, the championships, winning, whatever it is you're looking towards, successful businesses, they are just around the corner. And in order to do that, you yourself need to have vision. You need to understand, resolve to what your goal is looking towards achieving. Understand that every step along the way, whatever failure, whatever setback happens, is more lessons for you in order to learn, and you take extreme ownership of anything that happens. There are so many different examples. Look them up of every successful person, right? They are humble, but they understand their strengths, and they basically give motivation to their peers, teams, and anyone else in order to make sure they're unified to achieve the goal that everybody is looking towards setting out to achieving. Anyways, guys, that's it for the law of victory, law number 15 in terms of John Maxwell's 21 irrefutable laws of leadership. I highly suggest you don't stop there, and I definitely think that you certainly should read this either book or at least chapter within his book itself. It's so much more in depth and it breaks down so many different topics that I can't necessarily break down in a 10-minute video. But other than that, guys, I highly suggest you like, comment, subscribe if you like what we're talking about. I'm Chrisan. Ring the bell in order for your notifications to get it next week. I will be uploading a few more videos for the rest of the day, and if you like what we're doing, don't stop there. day. Look towards keeping improving yourself, putting yourself in a better position for success. I'll see you in the next one.